How's it going, everybody? Templar here, and today we're going to talk about a weapon that'll make you feel like Lubu himself. And that weapon is obviously the Glaive. The Glaive is a very straightforward AoE weapon. It excels at killing troops and heroes at the same time. The build for it will be as follows. You put all 72 points into your strength stat, as it increases your piercing, penetration, slashing damage, and blunt damage. But what you're really looking for out of these three increasements is the actual slash damage itself. Obviously, with the Glaive, you'll be going pure heavy armor. And you'll want to get an Epic Burner as your level 30 weapon. If possible, get one that's modified, crafted, so it has better stats. But for now, that's what I got. For the skills on the Glaive, we can start with Arc of Steel. Arc of Steel makes you spin around 3 times, inflicting slashing damage. It also makes you immune to stun. Arc of Steel is a really good AoE ability, and I would almost consider it mandatory for clearing out large enemy packs. As long as you don't get knocked down, you'll guarantee slaughter full groups of armors, all the way up to probably full groups of iron caps, and it can really disrupt shield formations. Your next ability you have is Breaker Shields. Breaker Shields makes you basically hit the enemy with the blunt end of your weapon, inflicting blunt damage, and then on the second swing, you inflict slashing damage and it allows you to recover from stun. Once again, this skill is, I'd say, decent. I personally would use it when you can, compared to the other options. You can use the skill to pretty much start your combo or chain your combo in the middle. A lot of times if you're getting some focus down by multiple heroes at the same time, you would start with using Breaker Shields because it will remove the stun effect, and it also does AoE damage, and it does hit for a ton of AoE damage. Because most players do not have a lot of defense from blunt, so it should almost do the full amount of blunt damage. The third ability we're going to talk about is Charge. Charge is, charge. You charge in and you swing on your enemy 3 times. I don't like this ability. I have seen a few Glaive players use it, but it's easy to dodge and it doesn't really stun lock them or really chain into a decent combo. I see a lot of people miss it a lot, so I personally don't use it. But it's still a good ability. Like all the Glaive abilities are usable. Some are just better than others. The next ability we have here is Warlords Greeting. Warlords Greeting makes you strike twice from above, each of them doing slashing damage, and it knocks your enemy down. And this ability is your bread and butter. You'll basically use it to start your combo off, as the knockdown will root your enemy in place, and then you can chain pretty much 3 other abilities, and the enemy won't be able to roll out of it very easily. They'll be having to hammer their keyboard to even attempt to get out of the way of your full chain of attacks, which allows you to pretty much one-shot any hero in medium armor, and some lighter or some heavy armor heroes if you get them in the back. The next ability on the Glaive is God of Battles. God of Battles increases your attack power by 45% and that of your allies by 50%. This ability I'm on the fence about. I would say if you have your ultimate, use it. You could use it, but if you don't have your ultimate, don't use this ability at all. God of Battles does increase your damage, yes, but it also takes out one of the viable pieces for your combo, which could, it could make you miss some kills because people get out of your stun locks or your CC chains. But then again, if you're running archers or something and you're not really jumping into the heat of battle, you could run this. But once you get your ultimate, which is Flying Reaper, this is the ultimate you want for sure, you could remove either Arc of Steel out of your combo. I wouldn't, but you could. And you could just chain it up with a big hit at the end, which should be enough to kill your opponent. Or maybe remove Breaker Shields. Probably not, though, because it is a removal. It's a stun removal, so you want to keep that. I guess you could remove Warlords Greeting. No. Yeah, I guess you could remove Warlords Greeting if you're comfortable hitting your opponents without knocking them down. It's pretty much just a pimped up version of Warlords Greeting anyways. So yeah, that could be your option. The final skill is Heat of Battle. Heat of Battle is basically useless. If it had to be If I had to pick the most useless skill on this tree, it would be Heat of Battle. It does make it so you can't be stunned or blocked, and it does let you recover from stun, but it doesn't add any damage to your combo chain. And I personally would never touch this ability, even though I have it unlocked, but that's only for the ultimate. And yeah, you have another ability, which is on your horse, and I'll show you that later, which allows you to basically charge into your opponent and do 2 AoE slashes around you, which will basically slaughter any archer groups. That's pretty much how you do your range removal. And yeah, so the Glaive's a pretty straightforward class, has a ton of AoE damage, but it also hits extremely hard. The only downside to the Glaive is it has extremely long cooldowns. So you're basically doing your combo, doing some left click slash attacks, and jumping out until your combos recharge. So here's the combo, Warlords Greeting. So you'll hit them with Warlords Greeting, combo it into Breaker Shields, and then you'll finish it off with Arc of Steel. And then you can throw your ult in there, depending on how low you get their health to. I use the Flying Reaper to finish opponents off or break shield lines up, so you can throw it in there at the end. You can also change it up a little bit. You could start with your Breaker Shields into your Warlord's Greeting and finish it off with the Arc of Steel. Or any of the varieties, obviously you can go Breaker Shields into Flying Reaper, into Warlord's Greeting, into Arc of Steel. It's a very chainable group of skills. There's basically nothing will combo, like everything will combo off each other in one way or another. And yeah, that's pretty much how the Glaive works. You want to be careful. You are a heavy armor and you're full strength, but you are still squishy. You're susceptible to being jumped by multiple long swords or short swords. And it'll be a hard time to get out. You can fight them just from your sheer damage, but I wouldn't recommend getting into that situation if you could avoid it. And like normal, like and subscribe. I'll just show some clips now on kind of how I play the Glaive and just, I don't know, some epic chains, maybe some quad kills or something if I can get them. And if you do want a full siege battle at the end of the guys, just to show kind of how the battle unfolds with the Glaive, let me know. But as for now, I will talk to you guys in a bit. Thank you for watching the video and have a good day. Alright guys, here's a few clips I was promising. I forgot to mention that since the Glaive has that spin that I did right there, you will be using your horse a lot, so you do want to invest in a high quality horse and horse armor, so then when you're riding up on archers, as you'll see later in these little clips, you won't get one shot like I did. But yeah, so you want to pair your Glaive up with a lot of charged troops, as well they're charging, you're charging, and their charge, depending on what you're using, I'm using my iron caps here, will weaken the enemy forces a lot, so that when you go in with your horse and spin, you'll be able to pretty much finish off any hero or one-shot the troops also. So they're kind of like they're a complement to your hero. But as you can see, like a lot of the abilities on the Glaive are AoE abilities, and they do slaughter a lot of packs of troops. And as you can see here, I was going down the stairs to kill these archers, and I didn't realize there was a soldier still on the stairs, so I got hung up, and that's what caused me to die here. But that's basically what you want to do when you're reversing archers. You want to charge in with your horse and do your spin attack, and it should kill most of the group. You shouldn't lose your horse, that was just a freak accident. Another unit that goes good with the Glaive are Leers or horse type units, as they have overpowered charges. They let the enemy scatter, allowing you to single out heroes and slaughter them like this. But yeah, any other questions about the Glaive, feel free to put a comment in the video and I will answer it when I see it. Thank you very much. Have a nice one, folks.
Attack! Yes, Commander. Attack! Attack!